mom, and I saw that her mom is also bearing equipment. That's not be waiting person won't talk. Your children are not the umana. Your children are not the umada. My father-in-law was so intentional to write a letter about how he's going to be buried, how he's going to be mourned, and where he's going to be buried even before he died. I didn't even know I'm going to be making this video, to be honest. This video was not pre-planned. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello beautiful people, welcome back. Today is exactly 16th of June and today is 3 years that we lost my dad-in-law. May his gentle soul rest in peace. So remembering everything that happened when he died, and how this man played a major role in trying to make sure that his own burial and funeral was so seamless. Like, I honor him the more. I really honor him and love him the more. My dad-in-law was someone that loved me so well, honestly. Like, I enjoyed every benefit of being a daughter-in-law to him. My dad-in-law was that father-in-law that will give you his ATM, tell you to go and withdraw money and give you the money. My dad-in-law is that person that will make sure he calls you. Harmony, I know Port Harcourt. He knows actually that I know that they were coming, but he won't ever miss to call me and say we are coming. And my dad-in-law is that person that each time he visits, he will squeeze money and put it into my hand and say, please, Akokwana, your husband, this is personally for you. That is the kind of dad-in-law I had. Everything my father-in-law did while he was alive, he was actually thinking about his family. He was actually thinking about his children, married children. He was actually thinking about everyone. And like I said, today actually got me so emotional because I remembered how what's supposed to be like difficult why he died became so easy because of what he did when he was still alive. My father-in-law was so intentional to write a letter about how he's going to be buried, how he's going to be mourned, and where he's going to be buried even before he died. This man did not write this letter when he was still in his sick bed. He was healthy. Maybe he could have had those symptoms, but he was still going through his normal lifestyle. He was still doing whatever he's supposed to do, but he wrote this letter, took it to the village. That letter was signed by the person that was supposed to sign that letter, and there was a witness. He brought back the letter, gave my husband the original copy, and everything he wanted was just mentioned in that letter. If you know Onitsha like culture very Onitsha, I like a culture very, but that letter was just something that solved a whole lot of problems. When he died and there were parties like it can't happen, he will be buried here, he won't be buried here, that letter was brought and it was said this letter was written when he was alive and it was given by the person that's supposed to sign this letter, and that person signed this letter. Unfortunately, I can't remember, the person that signed that letter even passed before my father-in-law. He does not want his children to go through all those traumas and headache. He decided to write this thing and it worked perfectly for everyone, because what this cultural shock does to people is that they are not even given time to grieve. They are not even nobody even tells you how to grieve. You are no longer talking about the person that's supposed to be buried, but you are being reminded about this and this and that you're supposed to do and what the culture states. Honestly, this brought me back to a particular video that DYNA EKWUEME'S posted 1 month ago when the mom was still in the mortuary, and she shared about the cultural shock that they met during the whole process. And I mean, the honest truth is that we don't talk about these things enough. People don't talk about it enough. People gatekeep it because we feel that death is not something, death no be waiting person won't talk. But the truth is that death is inevitable and everyone wishes to stay old age, and we all pray to be old. So when I saw the video, or when I saw the poster of her mom on Instagram, DYNA EKWUEME'S is someone that I love so much, and I follow her across all her social media platforms except her TikTok, because I'm not currently active on TikTok. And I saw the poster of the mom, and I saw that her mom is also bearing Ekweme. In case you don't know, her parents separated like some years before her mom died. Please, this video is not for DYNA EKWUEME'S, or this is not for her family, calling her family. Like I said, I love her so much. But when I saw that poster, I actually know within me, to be honest, that there must be a background fight for that Ekweme to be in that poster. And it confirmed everything when she made that video. I really felt for her that period. I didn't even comment, I just watched that video because that actually was a very sensitive time for her, and some comments could even be insensitive. Just the way we talk about motherhood, parenting, postpartum difficulty in pregnancy, those topics were not actually rampant years ago, but some women were bold enough to bring this topic on YouTube or on internet, and people started sharing ideas. People become bold enough to share. People started talking about their experience, and it's no longer a new thing. Like, people are bold enough to talk about their postpartum traumas, their pregnancy journey, and all of that. Just like that, let us actually normalize talking about some of those traditions and cultures surrounding death, because it helps people to be aware of what they are going to face even when the person is not around. I also heard that some communities in Nigeria, that as long as you are a woman, even though you are married, once the person dies, that the body is going to be brought back to the father's house. What do I mean? For instance, in Igbo culture, as long as you are married to your husband, if the person dies, the person is going to be buried in her husband's compound. But then these particular communities here in Nigeria, or those particular states in Nigeria, once they are married, even if their bride price were fully paid and the person dies, the body will be brought back to the father's house. That is their culture. It is actually nice enough for you to tell the man, you know what, this is what happens in my home, so that the man will be fully aware, and even if it's possible, let his people be aware of it. So even if you're a man that also married from another culture or from another tribe, and you have totally different culture about death in your own place, please do well to let this woman know about this. I remember 3 years ago where someone staying in Abuja, a YouTuber, shared, woman is from Anambra State and she married someone from Benue State. Now, the man didn't tell her anything about their culture. I don't even know if the woman has ever visited the place, or if she has visited once. I don't know. This woman met a culture that she was not familiar with when the husband died. She went there and they told her that she is not going to remove her clothes for the next 3 days, and that is their culture, and she's not going to have a bath for the next 3 days. Imagine someone in her period and you are telling the person that they are going to shave her head and other things followed. She was not just dealing with the loss of her husband, but she was dealing with the cultural shock that she met after she lost her husband. It's also good, like I mentioned, that you as a parent watching this, it is important for you to know that, or be reminded that death is inevitable. And if there is any information that your children are supposed to know, please do well to communicate this information to them. Do well to tell them this information. It does not mean that you are going to die today after sharing the information. It only means that you cared so much about what happens after you are no longer alive, to this case or to your children. It's okay to tell your children, this is where I want to be buried, this is the way I want to be buried, but then your children are not the umana. Your children are not the umada. Your children are just your children. And then when you are dead, the other people that owns you are going to, they are going to agree or disagree. They are going to say, you know what, this is my brother before he became your father, or this is my mother before she became your mother. So if you didn't share all of those things, if you didn't tell them, if you didn't put them into writing, if you didn't meet the right authority even when you are alive, if you didn't do what you're supposed to do even when you are alive, it's going to be a very difficult task when you are no longer there. I'm glad I'm able to share this video, and hope you just picked one or two things. See you in my next video. Bye.